I think that it's important that we take time to print our work, regardless of how good or bad it may be. There's just something about holding it in your hands, seeing what you've produced, And so anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Is I'm going to show you some prints that I have made from some photos that I took recently for a camera challenge. Now, the theme of this was architecture, and as you can see, starting in front of you, there's a window with some heavy shadows above it. This is actually at the local temple near where I live, and I love going out there and just taking photos, and this window is one that I've taken photos of many times over the past. Next, you can see actually one of the buildings of the temple right here. And also another thing that I will say about these photos from this visit to the temple is that I had some problems with the development, and yeah, so I kind of messed it up a little bit, but I still have some images. So now here's another one. This is looking through inside, and actually, so a lot of this roll I overexposed it very, very much. And so it overexposed it so bad that I actually had, images bleeding into other ones. So that sometimes it happens. But you do the best you can to work out all of that. And then here's another look at the temple from a different angle again. And then here we go. We have a side view of one of the buildings there also as well. So like I said, I go out there and I often walk around and just, photograph different areas around the temple. There's also a pond that has the lotus flowers and things like that in it when they're blooming and growing, and so you can see kind of here the walkway around the pond here. So now we go from that to more modern, where we're looking at the Lotte World Tower. So this is in Seoul. So I actually went to Seoul and did some photography there for a few days. By the way, these photos turned out much better because my development was much better on this roll than it was the previous roll. Actually, the previous roll I had some problems because my fixer was bad. I didn't realize it. I kind of tried to push things for one more roll, and so came out with some bad results. So here is the Lotte World Mall. So you can see all of the modern architecture, the curves and the tall buildings and such. Here's one that I really liked because they have this artwork all around, and you can kind of see the pedestrian pathway across the top here, and then you have the statue, well, not statue, sculpture here in the bottom, and then the people all around it. So, and this building, this is just one that I don't know, residential and offices most likely. I'm not exactly sure. It's just one that stands out when you're standing there at the tower and looking back across the park area. Really like this photo right here. Got the family here. So actually, these three people were all together. So I guess that's dad, mom, and the baby looks to be running after the mom. The dad's looking back. And, just right here in the shadows under the entranceway going in. So that was pretty cool. And here, this is kind of beside where I took the photo of the family there. So the little truck here. So again, some kind of cool stuff. And then here, I went to a baseball game that day. So as I was going to the game, I was taking out the camera and walking around, and here's some buildings in front of the Lotte World Mall. So, and then After that, I finished off the rest of the roll at another temple in my area. By the way, I also shot two rolls, two short rolls, two 24 exposure rolls, and basically the first one, like I said, was pretty toast, so I went out and shot a second one, and this is at another temple local to where I live. And then you can kind of see another angle from the back looking across the mountains. So this is from kind of the upper building here, so you can see the temple architecture. Here's one of the doors at the temple. Like I said, I love taking photos of windows and doors. I know I'm not the only one. I'm just drawn to them, and yeah, so I take a lot of photos of windows and doors. And then right here, so this is when I was leaving, I had a couple of shots left, so I took this shot when I was going back out. And then, of course, I almost always have one when I get back home. So this is just out my window of my apartment, looking across the parking lot at the other building. So that's a little bit of a look at Korean architecture, or architecture in Korea. So yeah, like I said, I think it's important that we print our work, and I hope you enjoyed this.